Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I'm going to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim, Rakatash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, taught us this truth and rule well. And Shalom to all from Levek, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah, Barakatam. It's the brother Kazan Riyad from Minnetonka West Coast, coming back at it again with another lesson. Alright, and basically, this lesson is, skillfully adding land backing, off a live stream, one of the lessons that Elder Apostle Obama made. It's titled Test, alright, because, it looks like a test for him, to just, start hit the live stream button, per se, and just, start going in, start, going through the spirit, man. He usually has his lessons made a different way, but this is like a new way to perform it. But anyways, in this lesson, he talked about how one of the biggest gripes of him having, was, how, Judah would not really accept the northern tribes. So-called black people would not accept the so-called Latinos, because, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a few days since I seen this lesson. Alright, but basically, Judah be thinking like they're the only ones that got touched. They went through slavery, and everybody else isn't being oppressed or whatnot. The so-called Latinos are living in the hoods too. They got the last names of their conquistadors, man, the people that conquered them. All right, you look at a so-called Latino, he got, what is his last name? His last name is Gutierrez, Guerrero. Same thing with the so-called black man. What is his name? His last name is Johnson. So on and so forth, man. So look, the reason why this is the case is because the devil does not want the 12 tribes of Israel to get together. All right, he does not want there to be some type of what's the word? It's a word for it. But he does not want there to be any type of unity between the tribes, especially between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right, that's why really all the tribes are divided against each other. All right, and that's the product of this devil. All right, you got so-called Mexicans and so-called Central Americans, and they beef with each other. All right, so-called Mexicans call the Central Americans cerotes. They call them I forgot the other one, catracho. I think that's another one. And then in South America, you got the so-called Peruvians, which is the tribe of Asher, so-called Naphtali, so-called Chilenos, which is a tribe of Naphtali. All right, they beef with each other. They actually went to war in the past. So hey, Peru and Chile. You ask the Peruvian, what do you think about them? What do you think about them? What do you think about them Chilenos? You know what I'm saying? Hey, it'll be nothing nice to say. All right, they got nothing nice to say about the Chilenos. And then same thing with so-called black people. Same thing with the southern kingdom, man. They got their intertribal beefs as well. All right, but we coming into the days where the tabernacle of David is being raised up, and all the breaches is gonna be closed, man. All the breaches is gonna be closed. Anybody coming with that bullshit, trying to sow discord against tribes, trying to sow discord against brothers, man, they would get sifted out. All right, simple as that. All right, that's why you got motherfuckers like Popey and them. All right, they're fucking clowns, man. They're the fools of the town. All right, because they coming with that division, they coming with that discord. They coming with that intertribal discord, man. All right, so let's go hit the scripture real quick. All right, because I don't want to turn this into a rant or anything like that. All right, so the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 21, and it reads, "Prove all things, hold fast to that which is good." Now I made a point earlier, dealing with the reason why this is the case. Why the southern kingdom, dealing with how, let me lower the brightness a little bit, man. All right, I don't want no cops lighting me up right now. So the reason why, so-called black people don't see the so-called Latinos, they don't really accept them as far as the oppression goes, is because in the schools, you only get taught about what happened to the southern kingdom. You don't get taught about what happened to the so-called Native Americans and the so-called Latinos. Now, you do get taught, some parts of what happened to the so-called Native Americans, such as like the Trail of Tears, and different things. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, it's a academic blockage and a media blockage. All right, on what happened to the so-called Latinos. All right, the indigenous of the Americas, South America, Central America. The indigenous of Latin America, man, and that also includes, the Indians. All right, dealing with the Caribbeans, the Bahamas, the Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? So let me just make this little quick turn right here. All right, switch these little lanes. All right, so what was I about to say? Slovakia. Yeah, basically all the tribes got touched. Now Judah got it the worst, man. Judah got it the worst, but that don't mean he's the only one who got touched. He's the only one who went to slavery. All the tribes are just chilling in Latin America in their own lands. Gad over here just chilling in his teepee, and Judah's over here in the field, getting his sackful. No, all the tribes were being destroyed, man. The devil got a perpetual hatred against Jacob, and guess what? Jacob, they named their changed to Israel. All right, this 12 tribes, man. There's 12 tribes that make up Israel, man. All right, so this devil doesn't just have a perpetual hatred towards so-called black men. He got a perpetual hatred towards the blacks, the Latinos, the Native Americans, man. All right, hey, if he didn't like you, if he had love for you so-called Latinos, why you got your kids in cages, man? The cold nights, he wrapped them up in tinfoil blankets, man, aluminum blankets. You know what I'm saying? He got no love for you, man. All right, and that's another thing too, man. These so-called Latinos, man, they got their heads so far up their asses, man. They don't see what the deal is, man. A lot of them are gonna get ran through. All right, really, all the tribes, they got their heads so far up their asses, man. They don't see no type of brightness, man. They don't see no type of light, so they get destroyed. All right, but this is very frustrating to see the Latinos, man. At least Southern Kingdom, they got some, they got a little grasp of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But so-called Latinos, man, that's fine, man. They got bricks on their heads, man, straight up. But you got the elect that's waking up, though. All right. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. We are in these times, man. Just for real. We're not compatible with this world. All right. So let's bring out that precept one more time. All right. So it reads, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. Prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. All right, because I made the point. This devil doesn't teach you about what happened to the so-called Latinos. All right, so that's where we're gonna prove that so-called Latinos got messed up, man. All right, now this is a book here. I'm gonna actually go ahead and buy this book sometime soon. But it's titled "A Short Account of the Destruction of the Indies." All right, the title is Bartolomeo de las Casas, and then they say it's a couple more. But basically what this book entails is that it basically is an account of some preacher or something, a priest. I forgot what his title was, but he went in the 1400s, the 1300s, if I'm not mistaken, around that time. Let me shut this down. All right. Matter of fact, talk to him. All right. So he ran out, at that time. All right, he was going down to the Americas, man. All right, he was going down to Latin America, the islands, and what he was doing is he was documenting the atrocities and the horrific acts that the Spanish, that these Edomites were doing against the northern tribes, man. All right. And when you read this book, now I've seen a couple brothers, man, they do sit downs, and he brought out a couple excerpts from this book, man. When you see the stuff, and like that's why I want to get this book, because I want to read for it myself, man. All right, but I heard a couple brothers, man, bring out excerpts from this book, man. It went from Latinos getting burned alive, you know what I'm saying? The women, they sticking spears in their vaginas, cutting babies out of their for the pregnant Latina women, they cutting babies out of their wombs. Smashing their heads in. You know what I'm saying? And you had one account where they took a little Aztec boy, a little Issacarite boy, so-called Mexican in modern days. All right, they cut him up into pieces, man, while he was still alive. All right, they started filleting his arm, cutting his arm into pieces while he was still alive, and feeding him to a dog bit by bit, man. All right, they were doing shit like this to the northern tribes, man. All right, they were really jacking up the northern tribes, man. All right. So that's why me, I'm Southern Kingdom, all right, but I have a Hispanic background, Hispanic culture. So it really pisses me off when the Southern Kingdom doesn't accept the northern tribes, doesn't accept the northern tribes, man.
You know how there's no type of, you know, see, again, I forgot that word, you know. And of course, you know, again, we know we under the curse of Deuteronomy 28. You know, tribes gonna have a hatred for each other. All right, but you know, it is what it is, man. And we you in the truth, man. You can't have no type of evil lie towards any brothers, man. All right, whether it be Northern tribe, Southern Kingdom, or Northern Kingdom. All right, because yo, us in this truth, man, we supposed to be the hopeful elect, and the elect is the house of David. All right, the elect is the tabernacle of David. Amos 9:11. All right, the house of David is being rebuilt, man. Tabernacle of David is being rebuilt. All right, so if you coming with that bullshit, man, with that worldly prison house bullshit, you feel me? Where, you know, oh nah, man, it's bros over here, and I forgot what they called the Latinos, you know, the essays over there. Hey, man, you gonna get sifted out. You're going to be destroyed, because what you're doing is you're sowing discord among brethren, man. And that's one of the things that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai hates. All right? That's one of the things that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai hates. So ain't going to be no tolerance for dudes out here, you know, trying to sow discord among brethren, man. Trying to sow discord among the tribes, man. You know? Because ultimately, you are an op, man. You may as well be a devil. You may as well take a record deal, hop on and start doing rap songs, man. Start doing murder music, man. You know? So let me bring this out, and then I'm gonna close out, man. I don't want to make this lesson. I don't want to make this lesson too long. All right. So it reads, an early traveler. All right, because this. Oh, you know what? Let's start at the top. All right. So it reads, Bartolomeo de las Casas was the first and fiercest critic of Spanish colonialism in the New World. An early traveler to the Americas who sailed on one of Columbus's voyage. And you know, Columbus was a decrepit, he was a sick mofo, man. All right, he was a sick devil, man. You read it in his diary how he bragged on the stuff he did to them so-called Latinos, man. Hey, man. All right. It only just gets your blood boiling, man. But anyways, it reads, Las Casas was so horrified by the wholesale massacre he witnessed that he dedicated his life to protecting the Indian community. All right? So he wrote a short account of the destruction of the Indies in 1542, a shocking catalog, all right, of mass slaughter, torture, and slavery. And that's where you so-called black people talking about, oh, y'all didn't go through no slavery. You know, y'all, we were the ones who went in slavery. Y'all were over there, you know, you just got slaughtered out. Nah, they went in slavery too. All right, the majority of the Spanish workforce was the northern tribes, man. You had Judah in the mix too, but the majority was the northern tribes, man. All right, because hey, I mean, think about it. It'd be more, you know, what's the word? It's more, it's a word for it, man. You know, but basically, simply put, man, it just makes sense, man. You know, yeah, you got so-called black people being shipped out from Africa, but we also got these people right here. So they're obviously going to put, you know, the northern tribes to work there too. All right, so it reads. All right, so it reads. It's a shocking catalog of mass slaughter, torture, and slavery, which showed the evangelizing vision of Columbus. All right, had descended under later conquistadors into genocide. All right, so, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? The northern tribes, man, they went through it too. All right, but we coming in, hey, man, you know, Lord willing, we're of the elect. We're the house of David. All right, and with that, I'm gonna end it off with the book of Amos 9 and 11. All right, so let me see. Let's make this little quick turn right here. Damn, he in a hurry. I'll be in a hurry too sometimes. Alright, so let's go. The book of Amos, chapter 9 and 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is raising up the tabernacle of David, man. Alright, the tabernacle of David. And hey, another thing too, you know, the scriptures describe the elect, the house of David, as being the fourth temple. You know, and that fourth temple is composed of the elect. With Yahushua being the cornerstone, and each of the elect being the lively stones. Now, a temple it consists of a bunch of lively stones being built together as one. All right, as one structure. all right, as one structure, one unit, one impenetrable force. You know what I'm saying? Got to start quoting 300 over here, man. You know, but one impenetrable force. You know, one unit, one structure. If you got 2/3 ass dudes that's gonna be coming in there, sowing discord between the tribes, man. You don't get sifted out real quick. All right, you don't get sifted out real quick. And if you last until the house of David gets raised up, hey, it might be an elect brother to come see your ass, man. Simply put. All right, and this ain't going out to no individual. This is a general statement, man. This is a generalized statement, man, because hey, we getting sick and tired of the fucking evil lie, man. All right, and it's not just from Judah, northern tribes too. Getting sick and tired of it. That's one of the things that really vex me. You know, that's a laundry list. That's one of the laundry list of things in this wicked kingdom that really vexes me. Is that fucking evil lie. All right, and pardon my French, but it's, hey man, we frustrated out here. You know, we're not compatible with this place. You know what I'm saying? You know your people is self-destructive. You know that evil lie curse is real. All right, Deuteronomy 28. When you got to worry about your own people rather than the devil, man. When you walk down the street, when you're doing your day-to-day things, you know, it's that evil lie, man. It's all good though. Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to bring a lot of judgment to the world. All right, so it reads, "In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof." All right, you don't close up the divisions, man. All right, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. And back then, nobody could fuck with the house of David, man. Nobody wanted to smoke with the house of David. All right, because they were an impenetrable force. All right, and the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua was with them, man. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahshua was with them, and Aaron Ratazah, we're those men. He's with us too. All right, so yo, all that sifting shit, all that bullshit, all that prison house shit, it's gonna get blown out. It's gonna get thrown out the window, man, and into that. Hey, man, it's gonna get thrown out the window and into the second Salakian, into the lake of fire. How about that? All right. So with that, I'm gonna say, call Allah Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. All right. Hey, man, brothers get passionate over this because it's one of my gripes too, man. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.